Want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. The attack on social media just won't stop. 3 weeks ago on August 8th, the Child Mind Organization updated a report on its website headlined, "Does social media cause depression?" The answer was basically yes. Meanwhile, anonymous backers of the Kids Online Safety Act are running an expensive series of TV ads with mothers who have suffered from the deaths of their teenage children. The plight of the mothers is horrendous, but the purpose of these ads is to pin the deaths of the kids on social media and to call for government regulation of big tech. Meanwhile, the Surgeon General put out a report May 3rd declaring an epidemic of loneliness and blaming teenage depression and anxiety on social media. And since 1998, the year after the first social network, 6 Degrees, was established, studies coupling social media use with depression have been popular in the research community. Are all of these experts wrong in blaming the woes of depressed teenagers on social media? In my opinion, the answer is yes. And that opinion does not come from the handful of studies pointing to the positive effects of social media. It comes from personal experience. In 1988, I was doing field work in mass behavior. I wanted to find the dark underbelly where new myths and movements are made. Despite the fact that I grew up with Beethoven and Rachmaninoff, I established what became the biggest public relations firm in a field I had not previously known anything about: popular music. I worked to build or sustain the careers of people like Michael Jackson, Prince, Bob Marley, Bette Midler, Billy Joel, Joan Jett, Billy Idol, and Queen. Then, wham! In 1988, I was hit by a mystery illness, and for 5 years I was too weak to talk or to have another person in the room with me. All in all, I was stuck in bed for a total of 15 years. So I had my assistant set up 2 computers next to my bed and went out in a dark space called the Internet, looking for human connection. The Internet was the only place where, even though I was in bed, I could be perceived as a full-fledged human being. And the Internet did for me what it does for kids. It allowed me to find others who accept me, even in my crippled condition, and who shared my interests. I ended up creating a group of 20 scientists from all over the world who wanted to legitimate an idea in evolutionary biology that was mocked and scorned, an idea called group selection. And we succeeded. I was only able to pull this off because of email and chat groups, because of what is now called big tech. The fact is that even as a kid, I have been shunned and excluded by every group of children around. But if I had had access to social networks, even as a 5-year-old, I would have been able to find other kids who shared my interests, who appreciated me, and who I could appreciate, even if they were located thousands of miles away. That would have changed my life. But the fact is that in the 15 years when I was confined in my bed with myalgic encephalomyelitis, the Internet saved me. And today, the Internet and social media continue to save me. I'm isolated by the aftermath of the COVID crisis. The cafes that used to be open during my very late night work hours now close early. So I'm forced to work 7 nights a week in the bedroom where I was once imprisoned. But I don't feel isolated. In fact, I run 3 high-level groups dedicated to America's advance in space on Uber Conference. I do the research for my next book on Google and on the new AIs for scholarly studies. I meet once a week on Uber Conference with the people in the Howard Bloom Institute, a group dedicated to keeping my body of work alive when I die. And I'm vigorously immersed in a world of people, thanks to social networks and the Internet. So I oppose depriving kids of something I know would have saved me in my childhood, the way it continues to save me today. Social media, the internet, and big tech. This is Howard Bloom speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make. Or, want to know why? Ask how! And now for that infamous off button.